TheyGo, the first show to know when it comes to FPV and RC info. Broadcasting from TheyGo Studios, covering these rapidly growing sensations of both drones and RC cars. Without further delay, your hosts, Zach Morris and the Big Shane.
Hey, welcome to TheyGo, the show that brings you news, interviews, tech tips for both RC cars and drones. I'm Zach Morris, and with me, the Big Shane.
Hey guys.
And today we've got a great show. Shane, what do we got going on?
We got a crazy show in store for today. Number one, we have Steve O'Neill here in studio. He's going to talk about Bantam quads. They make frames. He's a frame manufacturer here out of Las Vegas. Crazy to have a local on the show. This is amazing for him to come in here.
I mean, it's pretty awesome to have him come out and do that. And I know recently, this is kind of new to everyone out there. You're a car guy, and now you're flying. So how's that whole...
In the past couple of days, Zach, it's been a crazy... I can't even say it's been a couple of days. Actually, it's been about a couple of months that this has been
in the making, right?
A process, from radios to getting batteries to getting what kind of quad we want to get, and what to do, and learning these things and what they do. Really, I think my most time-consuming stuff was the technology and learning.
Well, that's the tough part. Building the quad is pretty easy, or the drone, whatever you want to call it, and
the
building that whole thing, but the computer and the software,
the techie part,
that's tough.
Terminology, learning on yaw and roll and pitch and accelerator,
just
elevator.
Right.
I didn't know any of this stuff coming from the RC car thing. We had throttle, brake, and steering. That's about it, right? And then maybe
pretty simple there.
Some kind of switch to control your steering
right, now we
or
got
something.
4 motors, 4 speed controls, and it's pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
But
so
how was the flying?
It was insane. They made fun of me. They initiated me in.
So you're part of us out here. I missed it. I had to go home. So
you did. You left early,
right.
And you didn't get to see me fly. I know I've flown your stuff in the park before, but this was my introduction to okay, this is the real deal, Shane. It's time to put your game face on and be safe,
right.
And that's the only thing I can worry
now,
about.
You flew outside, right?
No, not at all, not at all. We're flying in a parking structure.
Oh, so limited space there.
Very limited, with very high power motors and insane stuff that can go through the ceiling probably if I wanted to.
Now I know I was there, and Tyler and Adele and Tristan were helping you out.
Yes, monkeys, the monkey team. I can't say Adele. Oh, he's the turtle.
He's the turtle. So
he's
turtle and monkey team.
And then we got turtles and monkeys. Yes, you'll all know
that
about
makes
what
perfect
this
sense.
is all
there you
about
go.
later on. So, yeah, it was an amazing experience. I got to fly. I got to run about 4 packs. I tiny whooped it up first.
Okay, so a little bit of warm up there.
Yeah, and what's crazy? None of these guys they never saw me fly a tiny whoop, and they're like, oh, he's all new, He doesn't know what he's doing, but I've been practicing a lot.
You've been ordering the little ones
with the little quads, yeah.
Practicing here in the studio, and you're like, I can do it. Check it out.
From the good. So I got a couple of those, and we got those at the house, and me and my son have been playing with them. We've been playing with them, and it got me kind of prepped for at least for FPV world of the tiny Inductrix.
Probably more mentally too. You kind of understood it's the same concept, just a little bit bigger, a little bit faster.
It got my finger controls down.
Because we're going from this whole deal to now thumbs.
Yeah, it got it pretty close. Now, is the little tiny controller that these little toys come with the same thing as my big old remote control? No, it's not. But very similar. In the yaw, the roll, the same thing. It kind of goes the same way. The biggest problem I had, Zach, was going from left to right and backwards and forwards. And when it starts to yaw and spin, I didn't really know how to control that. It's what you do on the sticks, man. You got to make it.
So you're not flying air mode. You said forget the beginner mode, going straight to rate?
You guys would make fun of me if I started.
I wasn't allowed to fly that way.
This is the difference. People don't know what we're talking about, aero mode and acro mode. It's like advanced and beginner. A lot of these toy quadcopters, they come with like an inside gyro that will always return you to center. The way everybody's quadcopters are set up for racing, once you put in a position this way or that way, it keeps wandering that way until you put in the exact same position, the opposite direction.
Right.
I didn't get this for a while. When I first flew your quad, the first couple times, I didn't understand this stuff, and it would run away from me, I call it, and I didn't know which way it was going. Anyways, none of that was happening last night. I got it kind of down a little bit. The pressure is on. Everybody's there. It's kind of like being
ripping it down the tunnel, right? Full speed.
No, because we did that last night, or the night before with my RC car, and I think we had a pole wide open. I was trying to show off. Like,
You're trying to race me, and it didn't work so well.
Yeah, I didn't beat the quad. There's no way I can beat a 90-mile-an-hour car or a 90-mile-an-hour quad with an RC car. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, not in the garage. No traction in there. You're gonna be sliding around.
It's just amazing time. What an amazing show we have planned, and this is going to be a great. We got Steve-O from Bantam Quads, and let's get into his interview right after this commercial break. This is Big Shane here, back with Zach Morris, and we have Steve O'Neill here in the studio with us today. He is our interview for today. He is the owner of Bantam Quad Frames, quadcopter frames, which is an amazing product. He is one of the hottest top products out there on the market at the moment. Some of these frames that he's producing and doing. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Steve-O, man, nice to meet you. Good to meet you.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you were down here and made it to our studio today. This is pretty amazing for you to be in here. We really like to include the local people into this show, and we want to let everybody know out there what we are a part of and what we're doing here at TheyGo, and what you're doing in this community and the drone world. We have plenty of quads out here on the table, from little ones to big ones and all kinds, and let everybody know what you do and what you're all about, and what this whole industry is about.
Basically been in RC cars since I was a little kid, and never thought I'd fly anything until I found the Nano QX on a video and bought one of those. Sold all my helicopters that I was playing around with, and then it's just on from history. Like, I bought a CNC machine for making, well, first I bought a 3D printer and started making parts. Then I bought another 3D printer, and I've been selling parts online on eBay and on my website for a while now. And then I bought a CNC machine for making frames, and it was July 3rd, 2 July 3rds ago. I was chilling with my friends in the garage, and I just designed a frame in my head, and I went home, and the next day, 4th of July, I had the prototype.
Here it is.
Yeah, I sat it on my friend's truck while I was lighting off fireworks.
There you go.
And just kept making frames after that. Frame took off really good because it was early. It was like one of the first 180 size frames, and so it got really popular.
So you actually started with a smaller frame. Everyone was still in the larger size, and you came out with, right out the gate, a 180 size?
Yeah, the 250s were the biggest ones, and then they were getting down to 210s. They keep getting smaller and smaller based on the prop size.
Yeah, I noticed when this industry first started, it seemed like the bigger the quad, the better it was. I know we bought a big one for filming, and yeah, it's huge. It was a 8 blades on this thing. It was crazy. And now they've gotten to where we're seeing them now to where they're micro size.
Yeah.
And this is the new thing, the new fad that's taking off, and you see a big increase in this industry with the request for these smaller quads.
Well, you know, we want to fly around our neighborhoods and fly around the local parks. So you fly around something like the Micro Boxer with 2-inch props. Nobody's really afraid. You run right into them. They just hand you back your toy and go back amongst their business.
Yeah.
You know, you fly one of these past them at 60, 70 miles an hour, and
yeah, we all know that thing can go 100 miles an hour and actually hurt somebody.
So it's nice to have something that nobody complains about.
What made you want to make frames and stuff like that and do that? Basically?
I'm just an engineering type person, and I just like making stuff. I also do graphics, and I have a plotter for doing stickers, so I already have a machine that makes me money.
So like a one-stop shop?
Yes, stickers and t-shirts and hats, and then vehicle wraps and all that too.
Okay, so like full-scale stuff even.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for a long time, and then now I make money with my 3D printing and my carbon fiber frames, and this is my passion. So I'd rather do this than, so I'm trying to transfer over.
What's your #1 selling quad? We got a lot of them out here in different sizes. What's the #1 most selling quad that you have out there?
The Boxer line.
The Boxer line?
Yeah, I started out with the Boxer 180, which you have one of.
Right.
Then I made the Boxer 210 for the 5-inch props. Then somebody requested a Boxer 150, so I made one for the 3.5-inch props. Then I made one for 3-inch props, and this one's even for the smaller 3-inch props, the Boxer 130, and then all the way down to the Micro Boxer, which has the brushed motors.
Okay. And I've seen, I don't have one myself yet, but I see a lot of people flying the little Micro Boxers. You can fly these actually outside even. You don't have to fly these ones indoors, right?
Yep, you can fly them indoors like one of the Inductrix little quads, or fly it around a park. out across the whole park just like you would a bigger one, up high in the sky and bomb towards the earth and doing flips and rolls. It really could teach you how to fly rate mode, because you can crash it all day long without wrecking, without hurting it, and learn how to fly the more difficult rate mode version. You know.
I was going to say that is really similar to the Inductrix, the tiny whoop, the whoop whoop. Everyone calls it the whoop. I've been calling it whoop whoop. Everyone making fun of me. That's fine. But this is not that. And what we have here is a pretty much race scale version of this. I know with the tiny whoop, or this Inductrix, I can't even fly. I can't fly it outside. I can't even get somebody blow wind at me, and the thing wants to do some weird stuff. I know I've played with Zach's a couple times, and the fan would be on inside the air conditioner or something, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like hitting the ground and bouncing off the floor, and this is not that. We're in a whole new category with all carbon fiber frame, and this is insane. I mean,
it's also based off the Naze 32 board, so it's fully, what do you call it? You can design it the way you want it to be, with clean flight on your computer, like a
That's
full
awesome.
squad.
This has full clean flight.
That's
Full clean
awesome.
flight ability.
Oh, wow.
You can put. I think you might even put air mode on it. That's
Really?
what some people talk about. Yeah.
See, this is something that is not included with this Inductrix or these tiny whoops. You can't really have that on there, right? I mean, you can't really program that.
They just came up with one. They came up with a board that'll fit in your Inductrix that has clean flight on it recently.
As an option.
It's an
as an
aftermarket.
option,
Okay,
just
but this
got
comes
released.
with it.
Yeah, well, you buy the frame from me, and then you build it with the components. I sometimes have the components on my website, but depends on how available they are.
Okay.
Right now, they are available. That board is a $30 board. It's available in California right now through banggood.com. So you just order it up for $30, and you'll have it in a few days.
That's pretty cool. You said the RC cars. Well, this is crazy. We do a show here at TheyGo that does both RC cars and drones, and we are doing a drone show at the moment. But what's crazy is the background you say you're from is RC cars. This is what all started. This is, and I know that you're a Las Vegas local here. You've been, I don't know how long you've been here. Your whole life, you were saying?
Since I was 3. So
This is your whole life. I moved here, and I believe 03 is when I first came to Las Vegas, and I purchased a house in 05 or something like that. So I spent some years here, and you've been a part of this RC community in this town for a very long time. You've seen the ups and downs. You've seen some trends.
All the tracks closed.
Yeah.
And that's was very discouraging. You get all worked up and you're racing, and then the track would close, and then you get all out of it. Another track would open, you try to get into it just as hard, and then the track would close. And pretty soon you just lose your steam. And then by the time finally 702 track, it stays open now for years, and I was out of it by that time, you know.
Yeah, now you're into flying.
I got into T-Maxes and Savages and Nitro Power cars in 2000, and those don't require a track.
Yeah, no, old school Silver Bowl. We're out in public parks. We were discussing this
Make
earlier
huge
on our
ramps,
RC show.
Jumping 20 feet.
Yeah, it was cool. You know, that's what
Skate
kind of got
parks.
me into this whole. That's why we're here today. And now we're talking about flying things and racing these flying things, and they go
Total
really
freedom.
fast. Yes.
Yeah.
And what you have provided now for this drone community is some pretty awesome stuff out there on the market now. And another thing is, I want to talk about the fact that this is an American-made product. You do everything in-house, right?
Yeah, I do everything in-house. I usually cut the frames per order. I even take people special orders. I made a frame for Gerard the other day. It says King Kong on the bottom of his, and
Do you do
Adele's.
full customization on the pods?
Sure. I'll take
Okay.
suggestions and everything. I'm open to talk to anybody about how they want me to change their quad up or whatever. And hey, if I make a custom quad for them, I bet you they'll fly that same frame forever.
I wouldn't stop. I mean, last night, Zach and I, we saw Adele, and
His turtle on the bottom of his.
it says turtle, and I was like, man, that's so cool to have your custom frame and have this all done, especially by a local person. And this wasn't outsourced to some other foreign country or something like that. And this was done locally. We love backing local companies. We want local companies to back us, and this is great that you're able to be here in town and discuss some of this stuff. Not only that, but this is one of the most popular frames out on the market right now. Zach here flies, he has 2 of them. And I know I've flown them.
They're kind of like a
I
used
love
car.
It.
Yeah, you know, I got a new frame. I sold my old frame to Bobby, and now it's Bobby's favorite frame.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, unless somebody wants to correct me, there's never been a broken boxer bottom. Never broke an arm on a boxer. frame out of carbon fiber out there.
plate?
The bottom plate's never been broken. I
pretty
made
outstanding.
made it so that it wouldn't break. It was all about the design. I saw the designs of some other frames that were similar on the market,
I've seen them very weak.
and they bring the arm all the way into a sharp point. The arms are narrow. They just don't have the design that's designed
That was the
not
thing
to
that I was
break.
noticing building that. I've got a 210 size frame and I don't have any room in it. I build a 180, it's even smaller, and I've got all kinds of room in there, and all this is pretty great.
I made the middle a little bigger when the 180 first started. Like this is the 150, and now I make a 210 called the Mini 210, which has this size middle, but it has 210 arms on it, because you don't need that large of a center to house everything. So this size of a center, but arms that go out for 5-inch props, and that's a very popular frame. That's the Turtle frame, actually. Really, that's the same setup. So it's this small of a center.
I really love his frame, and Turtle's an awesome guy, actually. I actually don't know if he's one of your team pilots, but with his
He is.
name on the quad, I was like, he must be part of something. So,
Yep.
anyways, what an awesome guy.
And he helps me design the frames. I mean, where's the other? This
He
is
knows
right
his
here.
stuff. He has
Yeah.
100% feedback. Last night they got me up and running, and it was my first time, and I flew in a very confined space and very scared of it.
parking
I've
garage.
done some stuff. I've done some tiny whooping and some small. I played with Zach's quad a couple of times, but I had 3 quads that I got, and we had some problems with them. I'm new to this stuff, and I don't know where to begin, And I had everybody in the community. What an awesome community this is.
Oh, yeah.
And Tristan's out there. Tyler's helping me, and he goes full ham all the time. So he's actually here helping us out on today's set and everything else, and he helps us with the show. But everybody as a community, they helped me out and got me in the air, and this was amazing. It was great. And what you have provided here for this community is what makes me want to fly. I mean, this is super cool to have you backing us as racers and people of the sport, and in the community. This is great.
Well, guys, we'll be right back with more from Steve-O. And we're back. So, Steve, there's been a lot of changing throughout the racing industries, and drone companies have changed from one thing to another. And you've changed your product a handful of times, and I believe the X-frame is kind of what you're kind of leaning towards. And
When these things are, quadcopters are supposed to be X's, like perfect cross, really. So that's where they started out, but then you need to have some components in the middle, so they made the H frame. And then over time, people went back to the X, saying that it flew so much better. But the X frame doesn't give you the area in the middle to put all your components. So you end up putting a battery on the bottom of the frame, and then sitting on the battery, and your battery a lot of times gets beat up and stuff. But these are meant for flying, so they fly a lot better. Sorry.
You're good. Or did that just trip you out? You were going to yell at him, huh? You were going to punch him, huh? You was going to throw the tequila body off. Dude, your horns just they popped out of your head more
I just
than
turned it
anything.
off. My bad.
You're-
We're not cutting.
Sorry.
You're all
This is
good.
going to be in the video, so let's keep going.
Is it really?
no,
Full of shit.
Sorry.
start
Let's
from
just
over
go back.
Five.
No, let's go back to where you were at.
from the
Where
top
were you
or no?
at?
4, no.
Where were you at?
Where were we at? What was the last question? You guys remember
My
what
question.
you talking about?
Yeah.
All right.
You want me to just start it
4,
over then, right?
3.
Go ahead.
And we're back. So, Steve, we've been having a lot of changes happening in the drone industry, and we've got different frames coming out. And I know you kind of started with the 180, and now you're kind of making X frames. What's kind of the input on that?
I listened to the racers, and the racers, the H frame was kind of the beginning, because you have all the area in the middle for your components. But people say that the X frames fly better. So I do what the customers want and give them what they ask for. And then now the newest one would be like the I frame, which is actually stretched a long way, which I never thought, it's like a sideways H. I never thought I'd see that, but everybody loves those. So I listen to the racers and build what they want.
Drone racing continues to change. Do you see your stuff, your advancements changing in this direction as well with this, as far as aerodynamic stuff? I've seen these canopies out that are covering these things, and then I saw some other stuff that are concaved arms and like some crazy stuff. Do you think that this is now the future, like Formula One style of drones?
Aerodynamics is key, so if you can make your arm shaped like an egg, rather than a flat piece of carbon fiber, then that might be an advantage. But it all depends on the racer as well. Like Turtle, Adele, flies steady,
He's been getting
very
You,
fast.
you might pass him.
Yeah.
You
Now
might
he-
pass him, but he's going to catch up to you and
Now
pass
he
you again.
helps you with designing some of these things.
Yeah,
Or?
he's constantly giving me input and
This
3D
is
printing.
one of those things here. He actually did some input on this as well. What did he do to make this better?
He took my rocket frame here and removed the top that held the camera, the carbon fiber pieces, and made a polyurethane 3D printed part to hold the camera down in the front and allow you to put the session style camera right on top.
So that was a super awesome.
It's great for videotaping. You know, if you don't need it for racing much, but if you're going to go do some freestyle, you want to bring back the HD footage.
Okay. Is there any video of these out there flying, or
Oh yeah.
how can we see the videos of these out there flying?
Adele flies my frames almost exclusively, and you can find his. It's KWYUT is the name of his.
Like
Quiet,
quiet? Okay.
quiet, but spelled correctly. Yeah, KWYUT is the name of his YouTube channel. And if you look up Bantam, Bantam 180, Bantam 210, or Rocket, you're going to find lots of videos on YouTube.
Okay.
Adele is awesome. I mean, the guy has helped me out a bunch, and we've talked to him a lot about stuff, and that's great that he's helping you out. You also have this is the X frame, correct, that you have here, and then also now the gimbal setup. Me and Zach were talking about this previously with some people that don't know a lot about drone racing too. But when you're flying and then at speeds, the thing usually goes this way and forward to
You're
the
staring
air.
at the grass.
Yeah, you're looking at the ground usually when this is going on. And now you have created a gimbal that will actually, just like any filming industry or anything, that actually will straighten this camera out now. When you're flying at this angle, it's gonna level it out. I have friends of mine that we are up flying and their camera angle changes or moves, and this is always a problem.
Especially after a wreck or anything like that, they bump into a tree and the
Yeah,
camera
and it
angle
moves, and all of a sudden they can't fly as well anymore. I think with this ingenious design that you guys have come up with, has now, this is going to take off.
It's great for, beginning flyers are going to fly with angle mode, which is auto level. So they want to see the horizon all the time anyways. They can only tilt off of level so far.
Definitely.
So when they tilt forward to about a 45 degree, that camera is going to stay level and they're not staring at the grass. So it just makes it much better. Now getting into rate mode where you're going to do all the acrobatic flying, then you can lock it in at the angle you want.
Yeah, you can. That was another awesome thing that
Yeah.
you brought up, that you can lock that angle in. Let's say, hey, I found my perfect angle. I know Zach here. He likes to fly at a certain angle, and he's comfortable. He's comfortable. I can't say that. He's been stepping up his game, and I got to catch up to him now. And this is a tough competition now. We've always been battling back and forth ever since RC car stuff. But we'll get into this where his camera angle, he gets used to this angle at this 45 degree, and he knows that he's going really fast when he's looking at the ground. So he doesn't want to change his camera angle. He's like, hey man. So for a guy like Zach, he can go ahead and be sure to lock in that camera angle at his favorite position.
Depends on
Or
how
change it
fast
up.
he's flying that
Sure,
day.
sure. So this is really cool.
And then when you're coming in for a landing, you point it down so you can see where you're going.
There you go. When you're coming in for a landing, that's a big, huge problem.
And this is
I
just
know.
the center chassis for the Alien frame, of course. I just don't have all the arms and everything attached. But I supply them with the servo, and I sell them on my website, fpvracingparts.com, and then I sell them on my eBay channel, which is Vegas Bargain House.
Vegas Bargain House. That's pretty cool. So we have your website, which is
fpvracingparts.com.
Yeah, I was actually on there earlier and I saw some really cool stuff. I mean, you guys have all kinds of
and
stuff
it's
on there.
reasonably priced.
It wasn't bad.
You know, it's not like, you see some of the RC companies or even some of the drone companies, like, why am I paying so much for that? And it's reasonably priced, and you've got not just one or two frames, you've got a lot of different options that you can have as a racer and a recreational flyer.
And when you make it over $20, there's no free shipping on the entire order. So.
Okay. Outstanding. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and coming out here. I know me and Shane like to talk drone shop and all that, and appreciate you taking the time and coming on out here. And
I appreciate
we'll hope
you
to see
having me.
soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming out here, Steve-O, and let everybody know out there who they need to go talk to get some custom stuff done, or if they just want to get into this, or your Facebook or whatever. Give your shout out.
Hit me up. I'll talk to anybody and take in your suggestions and make custom quad frames or custom parts for you. Let's just get it done, and I'll have fun together.
Definitely. And where can they reach you at?
They can reach me at, like I said, through fpvracingparts.com, my website, or I guess that's it, really. Just contact me
Facebook
through there.
or something
Facebook,
like
yeah.
that.
Just
There
look
you
me up
go.
on Facebook. That's where everybody contacts me.
And that would be Steve O'Neill.
Steve O'Neill. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And make sure you just see that he makes rotocopters, and you'll know what's going on. We want to thank everybody for being with us tonight. Like us, share us, love us,
Subscribe.
And fly.
just say hi and get out there and fly and help your community, and let's get this thing going and have a great night. Thank you.